trying to do it and not chop my head off here. So sat at the top of the stairs, as I have done every day on the way down for the last like 2 weeks now. Been going down and shuffling down the stairs on my bum. I think you saw that in one of my last videos actually. But yesterday, 12 days out from what was surgery day, so 22nd of July, went for another dressing change. Had the dressing changed and spoke to the nurse, and she said it's healed quite well, the glue's healed quite well, and had some milestones this week. So, well, yet to reach those, but I've been told that as of Friday this week, so it'll be 2 weeks and 1 day out, I can actually shower and wet my foot, which is a good thing, and wet the incision to get the dry glue off the top and start like showering and looking after that. Had it cleaned, it looks quite good, it's sealed up nicely, healed really good. So yeah, that's a one milestone that I've achieved this week. And then another milestone from speaking to the nurse and the consultant, I can start progressively and very limited weight bearing, which means I can start not running. We're not going to run before we can walk, but I can start shifting weight onto my foot, standing up in the house, and mobilising the foot and the ankle. I will be mobilising, before I jump to conclusions. I'll be starting to mobilise the ankle first and then progress onto weight bearing. My ankle is like a proper old boot. It is not going to shift. It's rigid because I've spent the last 2 weeks keeping it at 90 degrees. So yeah, this week's episode, I'm going to show you how I've progressed this week from my Ackland's deformity surgery and the steps I'm doing to start rebuilding the tolerance and the motion and the mobility in my ankle, which is really the first stage of what you'd probably perceive as rehabilitation, although rehab actually started before I got the surgery by doing all the prehab, and it also started in that rest and recovery phase straight after the surgery when I'm laid in the hospital bed, spark out, getting the swelling down. Looked at it this morning as well, took the boot off and the sock and stuff, looked at it, swelling has gone down really well on it, which is good, and there's not as much bruising. The bruising's starting to go a darker colour now, which means it's on the way out hopefully. So yeah, join me this week as I show you how I'm doing my early mobilisation and early like weight bearing, and you'll just see how minimal it actually is. And I'm not going to be pushing it too much because what's the point in that? I'm not in a rush to get back. I'm just more in a rush to make sure that the ankle's strong and the ankle's right, because eventually I do want to smash a sub 220 marathon, and I can't do that with only one ankle, one leg, full stop. So yeah, need to make sure it's done right and done properly. So yeah, join me this week anyway before I ramble on. Feeling a little bit of continuity. So start off very basic and start off with some like mobility and stuff that you'll see in the next little video, and then I moved on to some like weight shifts, so just getting used to bearing some weight and moving and rocking from side to side so I could actually make some tolerable weight in the boot whilst standing up. That went quite well. And then I moved on to some lightly resisted exercises using a resistance band. There's different settings of the resistance band that you can use. So there's like, depends on the colours as to which range you purchase, but there's light, extra light, medium, and then hard, and then very hard or something in mine. So yeah, using some resistance bands to sort of stimulate the muscle and stimulate like a little bit of fatigue and some strength, promote some strength in there. Those also went quite well. Was doing all these like lying down, not using body weight as such, until I moved on to like the glute bridges with a calf raise. A lot of the focus was to target the gastrocnemius and target the soleus muscle in the first instance, but also target some muscles that you need from general day-to-day movements, so like the quadriceps, the hamstrings, the glutes, the lower back, as such as well. And this was done so that when I do make a return to being in the gym and doing some strength and conditioning, I could actually do it. And I was starting on a little bit higher weight and a little bit higher intensity, rather than just having a full 6 weeks off from doing some strength and conditioning in the gym, or 4 weeks. So yeah, it did work. It does work quite well, and promoting that early stage intervention of some like return to strength training and return to like specific training before I do eventually make a return to running a little bit further down the line. I'll be jumping on the bike a little bit before that. So yeah, a little bit of strength work in there, simulating some exercise that I can do in the gym, like a leg extension, a leg curl, using a resistance band as well, but mainly using like my body weight and a bit of resistance band work in there. And obviously Note does actually simulate going high weight, but I don't need to be doing that at this stage. It's just more about mobility and restoring some function. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me in my day of strength and conditioning as I combat this Aglund's deformity surgery and promote the injury recovery, so that I can eventually make a return to running and smashing out hopefully a sub 2:20 marathon. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. That's my first real video on strength and conditioning through this surgery. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting and enjoy a little project from here on out. So yeah, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and join me along in this this process. Cheers and bye.